Just like that.
I ate some dirt and lawn.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are here to do another Tips with Tish, and we're here at Bear Creek Golf Club, and we're going to talk all about different lies, how to set up, what you're supposed to do when your ball is above your feet or your ball is below your feet. So let's get to it. All right, so I wanted to start off here with a flat lie. So here, as you can see, flat lie, meaning that everything is level, that when I get set up, I'm feeling like everything is nice and even. So whatever your setup is like, whenever you're on a neutral ground, you want to do your best to mimic this kind of feeling with whatever lie comes your way. Now, there's hardly any golf courses that are flat, so I'm going to try and find an example of each and every different lie and walk you through how you should adjust your setup so that you can apply the same exact swing every single time. All right, you guys, so now we're going to first start with a lie with the ball. Oh my gosh, it even moved. Okay, we're going to start with the ball stance with a ball below your feet. So literally that means that the ball is lower than my feet and the ground is angled like this, and that's also if you're right-handed. If you're left, it's going to be the opposite. So oftentimes people ask me, what do you do when you're in a different lie? I never have a flat lie when I'm on the course. So like I said earlier, you want to try and match that same feeling that you feel when you're on a completely flat lie. So what that would mean for this specific lie, so this is not as severely below my feet, but it's enough for me to have to adjust. So I have a 6-iron in hand, and when I get set up, I would still put it in the same ball position of whatever the club is. But the difference here is that you naturally want to get a little closer to the ball because you don't want to be too far, and the ball is further away from you here. And you want to make sure that you're gripping at the very end of the club. If you are someone who naturally grips it a little below the grip, go as far back as you can to make up for the distance between you and the ball. Now, this is something that I think is really important, is that when you're on a lie like this, when the ball is below your feet, it actually encourages you to hit a left to right shot. It encourages a fade shot because of the way the ball is sitting. Because if the ground is like this, and say your ball is where my watch is, and your club is flat, you are naturally set up to hit on the heel of your club, which produces a fade shot. So to eliminate that, another thing that you could do to adjust the stance, besides making sure that you're gripping to the very back and you're coming a little closer to the ball, is making sure that for this setup, you want your club shaft to be raised a little higher, just so that if this is the ground and my club is like this, and you see that gap between the club and the ground, you want to raise your club a little bit to flatten it out so that you're not going to hit too far on the heel. So whenever the ball's below my feet, this is what my stance is going to look like. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit a shot for you guys here. So going through the motions, we're going to get in my normal setup here. I'm going to aim a little left because the ball below your feet promotes a fade shot. So aiming left of my target, I'm going to come a little closer to the ball, grip at the very end of my club, raise my club shaft to match the ground. Here we go. I hit that one really good. Okay. All right, now we have the opposite lie. This is where the ball is above your feet, and everything we just went through with the ball below your feet, exact opposite. Again, this is for if you're right-handed. So this kind of shot promotes a draw. Why does it promote a draw? Because you're more prone to hit on the toe of your club, which makes you want to draw the ball. And again, that's if you're right-handed. So when you're getting set up, we're going to do the best we can to feel like it's a neutral stance once again. So we're going to do the opposite. As I get set up here, if this is what would be my normal stance right here, we'll go off of that. So this is what a normal stance would be. So now, because the ball is above my feet, the ball is closer to me. So what you want to do is actually choke the club so that it's going to fill in for that distance being closer. So you choke your club, and it's up to you. You want to kind of feel it out. If you're in a really extreme lie where the ball is kind of like this, you're going to want to choke it up to feel as close to neutral as possible, okay? This is not that severe, but it's enough to definitely affect your ball shape. So we're going to choke the club here. And for me, because I personally actually play 2 degrees flat of a club, so that meaning if this is what standard is, if my hand is flat and a club normally sits like this, everybody, I get my clubs bent to 2 degrees flatter because I like my club more flush to the ground. So for me, when I choke my club, it is actually already perfect. It looks flush and flat to the ground. But for some of you, if you feel like it's too much or too exaggerated, you can either choke more or you can put your hands a little lower. Just like how when the ball's below you, we raise it up because we don't want to heel it too much. For here, to mitigate that, you can put your hands lower. But for me, I like the way it feels, so I'm gonna go show you what a setup looks like. I'm gonna come closer to the ball, choking the club to even it out. And when you choke the club, it's gonna take away some distance, so make sure you choose the right club in hand. Choking the club, and I'm just gonna measure myself from there. I don't need to come closer or I don't need to step farther because the choking of the club makes up for it. I like the way my club is already flat to the ground. I'm gonna aim a little right of my target because this promotes a draw because it hits off the toe normally. And that's how you get set up. All right, so ball above my feet. I'm gonna choke down already as I'm getting measured to the ball. I'm gonna put my hands just a little lower. I have the right club because I know it's gonna go shorter, aiming a little right of the hole because it's gonna draw. Go from there. I think I hit it good. The sun took my eyes away, but it was good. Now we're gonna cover the other two different lies, which is downhill and uphill. This, we have a downhill kind of lie, and so again, you wanna try and mimic what a flat lie would be. And for here, what you wanna do is actually put the ball in the back of your stance to feel normal. You don't need to choke it, you don't need to extend your arms, you don't need to do anything like that. Take your normal stance, and if this is middle to me, I'm gonna bring it to the back of closer to the back of my feet because it's good. All right, so you want to put it in the back of your stance because if your circle goes round right here and you're on a downhill lie, you want to make sure that your club will catch the ball first before the ground. If you were to put it more in the middle of your stance and you're on a downhill lie, you will likely chunk the ball. I'm going to get set up, put it more in the back of your stance so you can clip it clean, and this lie will allow your ball to actually go further because you're more likely to de-loft your club. So I have my club down, back of my stance, here we go. I hit that one really good. Sweet. All right, you guys, to round it out, we have the last lie that I haven't covered, which is the uphill lie. Now, when you have the uphill lie, some people get really excited about these lies because it guarantees that your ball is gonna go up. And this is actually a very clean lie, like it's in a nice place, a nice sitting. But it's very easy when you're on an uphill lie to hit into the hill. So I wanna be sure that you guys are very, very mindful of your ball placement in this kind of lie so that you prevent yourself from chopping it into the hill or chunking it into the hill. So right here, same thing or opposite of the downhill, you're actually gonna put this a little more in front of your stance because if you think about the roundness of your swing, you have more time to get to the ball because you're on this kind of lie and you don't want to thin it off this lie. So I'm gonna put it more towards my front foot just like so, same setup. And also when you're getting set up for an uphill or downhill lie, make sure that your body is perpendicular to the lie of the ground, okay? If you have a really severe lie, you can only do so much, but don't try and set up on a level lie when this hill is going like this. Does that make sense? So if the lie is like this, I'm gonna try and tilt my body to also match that lie. So I'll go ahead and hit this shot. I got a pitching wedge in hand. This will also likely go shorter because you're lofting the club. So I'm clubbed up right now, putting it just ever so slightly in front of me here. I'm gonna follow the hill, give it a go. I hit that really good. So sorry.
Sorry.
Just like that.
I ate some dirt and lawn.
All right, you guys, that wraps it up for this Tips with Tish, talking all about the different lies. You now know how to hit it off the different side hills, ball below your feet, ball above your feet, and the downhill and the uphill. Now you can take it to the golf course. I really, really hope that this has helped you. If you have more tips that you want to see, be sure to comment down below. That's it for now. If you like what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications button so you don't miss a beat. Bye for now. Yeah.